Welcome to Guy Compendium, the ultimate podcast for fans of comic books, movies, and the unforgettable villains that make them unforgettable. I'm your host, Finley Strong. The Joker. Joker is one of the most recognizable and enduring villains in the world of comic books. He first appeared in Batman 1 in 1940, created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson. As Batman's archenemy, the Joker represents the polar opposite of the Dark Knight, embodying chaos and anarchy in contrast to Batman's quest for order and justice. The character is iconic for his clown-like appearance, including white skin, green hair, a red grin, and a purple suit, and his persona is defined by a twisted sense of humor and a penchant for theatricality. The Joker's origin story is shrouded in mystery, with various interpretations over the decades. The most commonly accepted version suggests he was a failed comedian who turned to crime to support his family. In a fateful encounter with Batman, he falls into a vat of chemicals that disfigure him, giving him his distinctive appearance and pushing him into insanity. This transformation marks the birth of the Joker, a character who sees life as a cruel joke and seeks to spread his nihilistic philosophy through his actions. History and evolution. The Joker's history in the DC universe is rich and complex, reflecting the changing cultural attitudes and artistic approaches over the decades. From his beginnings as a murderous psychopath to his evolution into a multifaceted character with deep psychological layers, the Joker has remained a constant and compelling presence in comics. The Golden Age. The Joker's debut in Batman 1 set the tone for his character as a psychopathic killer with a dark sense of humor. In his first appearance, he is depicted as a cunning and ruthless criminal, using a toxin to kill his victims and leave them with a grotesque smile. This early portrayal established the Joker as a serious threat and a stark contrast to other villains of the time, who were often more straightforward in their motives. Throughout the Golden Age, the Joker's character was primarily a murderous clown, engaging in elaborate crimes and confrontations with Batman. His crimes often had a theatrical flair, reflecting his twisted sense of humor and love for chaos. Stories like the Joker's utility belt Batman 73, 1952 showcased his inventive and unpredictable nature, using a variety of gadgets and traps to challenge Batman and Gotham City. The Silver Age. The Silver Age of comics brought significant changes to the portrayal of many characters, including the Joker. Under the influence of the Comics Code Authority, which imposed strict guidelines on content, the Joker's character became less deadly and more of a mischievous prankster. This era emphasized lighter, more humorous stories, often focusing on the Joker's elaborate schemes rather than his lethal tendencies. One notable story from this period is the Joker's Millions Detective Comics 180 1952, where the Joker inherits a fortune and tries to go straight, only to discover that most of the money is counterfeit. Stories like this emphasized the character's humorous side, often depicting him as more of a nuisance than a serious threat. Despite these changes, the Joker remained a popular character, appearing regularly in Batman comics and other media, including the 1960s Batman TV series. This show, starring Cesar Romero as the Joker, further cemented the character's image as a campy, over-the-top villain, known for his laugh and colorful antics. The Bronze Age and return to darkness. The Bronze Age of comics, beginning in the 1970s, saw a shift back toward more serious and darker storytelling. The Joker's character followed this trend, with writers and artists reintroducing his more dangerous and psychotic aspects. This period marked a significant evolution in the Joker's portrayal, emphasizing his role as a chaotic force and a psychological foil to Batman. One of the most influential stories from this era is the Joker's five-way revenge Batman 251, 1973, written by Denny O'Neil and illustrated by Neil Adams. In this story, the Joker seeks vengeance on 5 former henchmen who betrayed him. The story reestablished the Joker as a lethal and unpredictable villain, willing to go to extreme lengths to achieve his goals. It also highlighted the intense psychological rivalry between Batman and the Joker, setting the stage for future confrontations. Another key story is the Laughing Fish Detective Comics 475-476, 1978, written by Steve Englehart and illustrated by Marshall Rogers. In this tale, the Joker tries to patent fish that have been altered to have his grin, leading to a series of bizarre and deadly events. This story reinforced the Joker's love for chaos and his willingness to challenge societal norms and laws. The modern age. The modern age of comics, beginning in the mid-1980s, brought a deeper exploration of the Joker's character and his complex relationship with Batman. This era featured some of the most iconic and critically acclaimed stories in Batman's history, many of which delved into the Joker's psyche and motivations. One of the most significant works from this period is The Killing Joke 1988, written by Alan Moore and illustrated by Brian Bolland. This graphic novel explores a possible origin story for the Joker, depicting him as a failed comedian who suffers a series of personal tragedies, culminating in his transformation into the Joker. The Killing Joke is known for its psychological depth, exploring themes of insanity, identity, and the impact of trauma. The story is also notable for its portrayal of the Joker's relationship with Batman, suggesting that they are two sides of the same coin, each driven by a defining moment of tragedy. Another critical story is A Death in the Family Batman 426-429, 1988 to 1989, written by Jim Starlin and illustrated by Jim Aparo. In this arc, the Joker brutally murders Jason Todd, the second Robin, using a crowbar and leaving him to die in an explosion. This event had a profound impact on Batman and is considered one of the darkest moments in the character's history. It reinforced the Joker's status as a truly heinous villain and had lasting repercussions in the Batman mythos. The 1990s and 2000s continue to explore the Joker's character in various storylines. Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. 1989, written by Grant Morrison and illustrated by Dave McKean, depicted the Joker as a central figure in a story exploring the nature of insanity and the psychological dynamics of Arkham Asylum. The graphic novel presented the Joker as an agent of chaos, embodying the dark and unpredictable elements of the human psyche. The Joker also played a significant role in No Man's Land 1999, a crossover storyline in which Gotham City is isolated from the rest of the United States after a massive earthquake. The Joker uses the chaos to his advantage, causing mayhem and challenging Batman and his allies. The story highlighted the Joker's ability to exploit any situation to create chaos and test Batman's resolve. The New 52 and Rebirth. In the New 52 reboot, launched in 2011, the Joker underwent another significant transformation. The Joker's appearance and persona were made even more grotesque and horrifying, emphasizing his role as an agent of chaos. One of the most notable storylines from this era is Death of the Family 2012 to 2013, written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Greg Capullo. In this arc, the Joker returns to Gotham with a gruesome new look. His face, which he had surgically removed, is now strapped back on. The story explores the Joker's twisted relationship with Batman and his belief that Batman's allies are weakening him. The Joker's actions in this storyline are particularly brutal, targeting Batman's closest allies and pushing them to their limits. The Rebirth era, beginning in 2016, continued to develop the Joker's character. The Three Jokers storyline 2020, written by Geoff Johns and illustrated by Jason Fabok, introduced the concept of there being three distinct Jokers: the criminal, the clown, and the comedian. Each represents different aspects of the character's history and personality. This storyline explores the Joker's impact on Batman, Batgirl, and Red Hood, delving into the psychological scars he has left on each of them. Key appearances and story arcs. The Joker's appearances in key story arcs have left a significant impact on the DC universe and the world of comics. Here are some of the most important and influential stories featuring the clown prince of crime. The Killing Joke. The Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore and illustrated by Brian Bolland, is one of the most iconic Joker stories. It provides a possible origin story for the character, portraying him as a failed comedian who suffers a series of personal tragedies, leading to his transformation into the Joker. The graphic novel explores the theme of madness and the idea that a single bad day can drive a person insane. It is also known for its depiction of the Joker's relationship with Batman and its impact on Barbara Gordon, who is paralyzed by the Joker in a brutal attack. The Killing Joke has been praised for its psychological depth and exploration of the thin line between sanity and insanity. The Dark Knight Returns. Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns 1986 is a seminal work that redefined Batman and the Joker's relationship. Set in a dystopian future where Batman has retired, the Joker has been in a catatonic state. However, upon hearing of Batman's return, the Joker becomes active once more. The climax of the story features a brutal showdown between Batman and the Joker, ending with the Joker's apparent death. The Dark Knight Returns emphasizes the codependent nature of their relationship and explores themes of aging, legacy, and the cyclical nature of their conflict. Hush. The Hush storyline, Batman 608 619 2002 to 2003, written by Jeff Loeb and illustrated by Jim Lee, features the Joker as one of the many villains involved in a conspiracy against Batman. While not the central antagonist, the Joker's role in the story is significant for the intense confrontation between him and Batman. In a moment of rage, Batman nearly kills the Joker, highlighting the complexity of their relationship and Batman's moral code. The story also explores the Joker's influence on Gotham's criminal underworld and his role as a master manipulator. A Death in the Family. A Death in the Family, written by Jim Starlin and illustrated by Jim Aparo, is one of the most infamous Joker stories. In this storyline, the Joker brutally murders Jason Todd, the second Robin, using a crowbar and leaving him to die in an explosion. The event had a profound impact on Batman, leading to feelings of guilt and trauma. The story reinforced the Joker's status as a truly heinous villain and had lasting repercussions in the Batman mythos. It also explored the theme of mortality and the consequences of Batman's war on crime. The Man Who Laughs. The Man Who Laughs 2005, written by Ed Brubaker and illustrated by Doug Mahnke, is a retelling of the Joker's first appearance in Gotham City. The story parallels the Joker's debut in Batman 1, depicting his initial crime spree and his first encounter with Batman. The graphic novel explores the Joker's psyche and his early relationship with Batman, setting the tone for their future confrontations. It also highlights the Joker's intelligence and his ability to manipulate situations to his advantage. Under the Red Hood. The Under the Red Hood storyline, Batman 635 641, 2005, written by Judd Winnick and illustrated by Doug Mahnke, revisits the events of Death in the Family with a new twist. Jason Todd, previously thought dead, returns as the vigilante Red Hood. The story explores Jason's resurrection and his quest for vengeance against the Joker. It delves into themes of redemption, revenge, and the moral complexities of Batman's no-kill rule. The Joker's role in Jason's death and subsequent resurrection adds layers to their already complicated relationship. Endgame. Endgame, Batman 3540 2014 to 2015, written by Scott Snyder and illustrated by Greg Capullo, is a significant modern storyline featuring the Joker. In this arc, the Joker returns to Gotham with a new and terrifying plan to bring about the ultimate endgame for Batman. The Joker infects the Justice League with a toxin that makes them turn against Batman, forcing him to confront his allies. The story explores the Joker's belief that he and Batman are destined to be eternal adversaries and delves into the concept of the Joker as an immortal figure. The climax features a brutal and intense confrontation between Batman and the Joker with significant consequences for both characters. Three Jokers. Three Jokers 2020, written by Jeff Johns and illustrated by Jason Fabok, is a storyline that explores the concept of there being three distinct Jokers: the criminal, the clown, and the comedian. Each represents different aspects of the character's history and personality. The story delves into the psychological impact of the Joker on Batman, Batgirl, and Red Hood, exploring the scars he has left on each of them. Three Jokers also addresses the idea of legacy and the enduring nature of the Joker as a symbol of chaos and evil. Conclusion. The Joker is one of the most complex and enduring villains in comic book history. His character has evolved significantly over the decades, from a psychopathic killer to a multifaceted figure with deep psychological layers. The Joker's relationship with Batman is one of the most iconic rivalries in popular culture, exploring themes of madness, morality, and the fine line between heroism and villainy. The Joker's key appearances in comics have had a profound impact on the DC universe, shaping the course of Batman's story and the broader narrative of Gotham City. Stories like The Killing Joke, A Death in the Family, and The Dark Knight Returns have defined the character's legacy and cemented his status as one of the greatest villains of all time. As a character, the Joker represents the embodiment of chaos and the unpredictable nature of evil. His actions challenge Batman's moral code and force the Dark Knight to confront his own limitations and fears. The Joker's influence extends beyond comics, with memorable portrayals in film, television, and other media. His character continues to captivate audiences and remains a central figure in the world of comic book storytelling. Subscribe to Bad Guy Compendium anywhere you get your podcast or at roguemedianetwork.com and get ready to delve into the minds of the most iconic villains in pop culture history. I've been your host, Finley Strong, and remember, evil never sleeps, but bad guys are forever.